Okay, so it seems like everyone's talking about cryolipolysis, like fat freezing. It's the new magic bullet for body contouring.
Right.
And I get it, the idea of freezing away stubborn fat without surgery. I'd sign up for that.
Yeah.
But before we both dive headfirst into the ice bath, let's take a look at what we learned from bodycontouringcourses.com
Okay.
and see if this is really as cool as it sounds.
It's definitely caught everyone's attention.
Yeah.
And for good reason. I think what's really interesting is that people are kind of moving away from the idea that body contouring is just about vanity.
Right.
Feeling confident and comfortable in your own skin can have a ripple effect on your overall well-being.
Totally. I mean, who hasn't struggled with those stubborn pockets of fat that just won't budge, no matter how much you're at the gym?
Exactly. And cryolipolysis offers a non-invasive alternative to liposuction. It targets and crystallizes fat cells with controlled cooling, causing them to die off naturally. And what's fascinating is that studies have shown a single treatment can reduce fat in the treated area by up to 25%.
Wow, 25%. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So it's not just a tiny tweak. It could actually make a noticeable difference.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's non-invasive is a huge plus.
Yeah.
No scalpels, no scars, just a little chill. So tell me, how does your body actually get rid of those frozen fat cells?
Oh, yeah. That's a good question. It's not like they just vanish overnight.
No.
That's where your body's natural cleanup crew comes in, the lymphatic system. It's like a network of vessels and nodes
Right.
that help filter waste and transport it out of the body.
Okay.
Think of those crystallized fat cells as debris. They get flagged for removal.
So it's like your body's own internal garbage disposal system.
Yeah, like that.
That makes sense. But I've seen some ads for those at-home cryolipolysis kits.
Oh, yeah.
Are those a safe and effective alternative to seeing a professional?
Those DIY kits are a big no-no. Professional cryolipolysis is a medical procedure,
Right.
even though it's non-invasive.
Yeah.
It requires precise control of temperature
Okay.
and application to avoid damaging surrounding tissue.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I wouldn't trust myself to, perform surgery at home, so freezing my fat cells seems equally risky.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm ready to find a qualified practitioner. What should I be looking for? Are there any red flags?
Absolutely. First and foremost, look for certifications and credentials. A reputable practitioner will have undergone rigorous training from recognized organizations.
Right.
They should be able to clearly explain the process, answer your questions, and address any concerns you might have.
So it's not just about finding the cheapest option, it's about investing in someone who has the knowledge and experience to do it safely and effectively.
You hit the nail on the head. It's like anything else, you get what you pay for.
Right.
Choosing a qualified practitioner can make all the difference in your results and your overall experience. And during that initial consultation, don't be shy about asking about their experience, the technology they use, and their approach to patient care.
It's my body we're talking about. I want to feel confident and comfortable with the person I'm trusting.
Right.
And speaking of comfort, what's the actual treatment like? Is it painful? Awkward? Help us paint a picture of what to expect.
Okay, so, you're not going to be plunged into a freezing pool or anything dramatic like that.
Right.
The treatment area is first prepped with a gel pad to protect your skin. Then the applicator is placed on the area, and you'll feel a gentle suction as it draws the fat bulge into the applicator cup.
So it's not like being stuck in a snowdrift, but you do feel the cold.
Exactly. The cooling process starts, and you might feel some coolness, tingling, or even a slight pulling sensation. Most people find it pretty tolerable.
Okay. And how long does the actual freezing process take? I imagine it varies depending on the area being treated.
You're right.
Yeah.
Treatment times typically range from 35 to 60 minutes per area.
Okay.
During that time, you can relax, read a book, or even take a nap.
Okay, so it's not a quick in and out procedure, but it's not exactly a marathon either. What about afterward? What can you expect in terms of downtime or side effects?
The good news is there's usually minimal downtime. You can typically return to your normal activities immediately after treatment.
Oh, okay.
You might experience some redness, swelling, or tenderness in the treated area,
Okay.
but those usually subside within a few days.
So no need to clear your schedule or take time off work. That's a big plus in today's busy world. But let's be real. One of the first things that comes to mind with any body contouring treatment is the cost. Can you give us a ballpark idea of what someone might expect to pay for cryolipolysis?
Well, the cost can vary depending on a few factors, like the size and number of areas being treated, the geographic location, and the experience of the practitioner.
Right.
It's important to have an open conversation with your chosen practitioner about their pricing structure during your consultation.
Yeah,
They can give you a personalized quote based on your individual needs and goals.
that makes sense. It's better to have all the information up front so there are no surprises later. So we've talked about the allure of cryolipolysis, the importance of finding a qualified practitioner, what the treatment entails, and even touched on the cost. But before we move on, I'm curious about something. We've focused a lot on the physical changes, but what about the mental and emotional aspects?
Right.
How does cryolipolysis impact people's self-esteem and body image?
It's a fascinating connection, isn't it?
Yeah.
We often talk about the physical changes, but the psychological impact can be just as profound.
Yeah.
When people feel more confident and comfortable in their own skin,
Yeah.
it can have a ripple effect on other areas of their lives.
So it's not just about fitting into a smaller size, it's about feeling good about yourself both inside and out.
Exactly. And that's something we'll explore in more detail in the next part of our deep dive. We'll delve into the psychological benefits of cryolipolysis and how it can empower individuals to embrace their unique beauty.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
It's really interesting how our minds and bodies are so interconnected. Feeling good about your physical appearance can boost your confidence and self-esteem,
Yeah.
which can then have a positive impact on your overall well-being.
Right.
It's a powerful cycle.
Yeah. It's like when you put on an outfit that makes you feel amazing, you just radiate a different energy.
Exactly.
So I can see how cryolipolysis could play a role in that. But before we dive into the psychological benefits, I'm curious about how it actually works on a cellular level.
Sure.
We talked about fat cells crystallizing, but what does that really mean?
Imagine this. You have a glass of water and you put it in the freezer. As the water cools down, it starts to crystallize, forming those beautiful, intricate snowflakes.
Okay.
That's essentially what happens to fat cells during cryolipolysis.
Uh-huh.
The controlled cooling process targets those fat cells specifically, bringing them down to a temperature where they crystallize and become damaged.
Okay, so it's not just making them cold, it's actually changing their structure.
Exactly. And because fat cells are more sensitive to cold than surrounding tissue, the process can selectively target those fat cells without harming your skin or muscles.
So it's like a precision strike on those stubborn fat deposits.
Yeah, you could think of it that way.
It's pretty amazing. But once those fat cells are crystallized, what happens next? How do they actually disappear?
Okay, think of it like this. Your body is constantly renewing itself,
Right.
getting rid of old or damaged cells and creating new ones. Those crystallized fat cells are basically flagged for removal. Your lymphatic system, which is kind of like your body's waste management system, recognizes those damaged cells as debris and starts to clear them out.
So it's like a cleanup crew comes in or removes the trash.
Exactly. And this process takes time. It's not an instant transformation.
Right.
It can take several weeks or even months for your body to fully process and eliminate those fat cells. But that gradual change is actually a good thing. It leads to a more natural-looking result rather than a sudden shift in your body shape.
That makes sense. It's like a gradual sculpting process from within. But what about the skin in those treated areas? Does it just shrink down as the fat disappears? What prevents it from becoming loose or saggy?
That's a common concern, but here's the interesting part. As those fat cells are eliminated, your skin gradually retracts and conforms to the new contours of your body.
So it's not just about fat reduction, it's about reshaping and redefining those areas.
Exactly.
And it's all happening naturally without the need for surgery or incisions.
Exactly. And that's one of the biggest advantages of cryolipolysis. You avoid the risks and downtime associated with more invasive procedures, like scarring or uneven skin texture.
Okay, so we've got the fat cells frozen, crystallized, and on their way out. We know the skin retracts naturally, and it's a gradual process that leads to a more natural-looking outcome. But let's talk about results. What can someone realistically expect after undergoing cryolipolysis?
It's important to manage expectations.
Right.
While cryolipolysis is effective, it's not a quick fix or a weight loss solution.
Okay.
It's best suited for those who are already at or near their ideal weight and want to target specific areas of stubborn fat that haven't responded to diet and exercise.
So it's not about dropping dress sizes, but more about refining and contouring your shape.
Exactly. And the results can vary from person to person, depending on factors like your body composition, metabolism, and the area being treated. But on average, studies have shown that people can experience a 20–25% reduction in fat in the treated area after a single treatment.
Wow, that's significant. And I'm guessing multiple treatments can lead to even more dramatic results.
Absolutely. Many people choose to have multiple treatments to achieve their desired results. Your practitioner can work with you to develop a personalized treatment plan based on your individual goals and needs.
So it's a customized approach tailored to each person's unique body and desired outcome. Makes a lot of sense. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. The whole permanently destroys fat cells claim. Is that really true? Are those fat cells gone for good?
It's true.
Okay.
The fat cells that are crystallized during cryolipolysis are permanently destroyed. They don't regenerate.
Wow, that's pretty mind-blowing. But wait, if you can't grow new fat cells, does that mean you can't gain weight in those areas again?
That's a common misconception. While you can't grow new fat cells in the treated area, the remaining fat cells can still expand if you gain weight.
Oh, okay.
It's important to maintain a healthy lifestyle after cryolipolysis to preserve your results.
So it's not a free pass to indulge without consequences?
Exactly. It's about adopting a holistic approach to health and well-being. Cryolipolysis can help you achieve your body contouring goals, but it's important to combine it with a healthy diet, regular exercise, and overall wellness practices.
It's like a partnership between you, the treatment, and your commitment to a healthy lifestyle.
Exactly.
But let's shift gears a bit and talk about something we touched on earlier. The psychological benefits of cryolipolysis.
Sure.
I'm really intrigued by this idea of how feeling good about our bodies can impact our overall well-being. Can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. Imagine how you feel when you put on an outfit that makes you feel confident and attractive. You stand a little taller, your mood lifts, and you project a more positive energy.
Right.
Cryolipolysis can have a similar effect.
So it's not just about changing your body, it's about changing how you feel about your body.
Precisely. When people see a noticeable improvement in their body contour, it often leads to a boost in their self-esteem and confidence. They feel more comfortable in their own skin, and that can translate into a more positive self-image and greater overall happiness.
I can see how that could be incredibly empowering, especially for those who have struggled with body image issues or insecurities.
It can be life-changing for some people. They start to engage in activities they might have avoided before, wear clothes they wouldn't have dared to try, and generally approach life with a newfound sense of self-assurance.
Yeah.
It's about feeling good from the inside out.
That's amazing. So it's not just about the physical transformation, it's about the emotional and psychological transformation that comes with it. It's
Exactly.
about feeling confident, empowered, and comfortable in your own skin.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to find a practitioner who understands this holistic approach, who recognizes that cryolipolysis is more than just a cosmetic procedure. It's about helping people feel their best, both physically and emotionally.
It sounds like the ideal scenario is a partnership between the practitioner and the patient, where they work together to achieve both aesthetic and emotional well-being.
Absolutely. It's about creating a supportive and empowering environment where people feel comfortable discussing their goals, concerns, and expectations.
That's a beautiful sentiment, and I think it speaks to the power of cryolipolysis to not just change our bodies, but to change our lives. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to touch on something that's been on my mind.
What's that?
We've talked a lot about the individual benefits of cryolipolysis, but I'm curious about the broader societal implications. As this technology becomes more widely available and accepted, how do you think it will impact our perceptions of beauty and body image?
That's a fascinating question, and one that deserves careful consideration. It's important to be mindful of the messages we're sending about beauty standards and the pressure to conform to certain ideals.
Right, because if we're constantly bombarded with images of perfect bodies achieved through these treatments, it could create unrealistic expectations and put pressure on people to conform to those ideals.
Precisely. And that pressure can be especially challenging for individuals who are already struggling with body image issues or eating disorders. It's like adding fuel to an already blazing fire.
So how do we navigate this? How do we promote the benefits of cryolipolysis
Yeah.
without perpetuating unrealistic beauty standards or contributing to body image anxieties?
I think the key is education and open dialogue.
Hmm.
We need to emphasize that cryolipolysis is a tool, not a solution. It can be a valuable option for those seeking to enhance their appearance and boost their confidence.
Yeah.
But It's not a magic wand that will erase all insecurities or guarantee happiness.
Right. It's about setting realistic expectations
Yeah.
and recognizing that true beauty is multifaceted. It's not just about achieving a certain body shape or size. It's about embracing our individuality and celebrating the diversity of human forms.
Absolutely. And that message needs to be kind of woven into the entire experience from the initial consultation to the post-treatment follow-up. Practitioners have a responsibility to have honest conversations with their clients, addressing their motivations, expectations, and um, potential vulnerabilities.
Like a partnership, right?
Exactly.
The practitioner should guide and support the client, not just perform a procedure.
Exactly. It's about empowering individuals to make informed decisions that align with their personal values and goals, not about pushing them towards a predetermined ideal. And this responsibility extends beyond the individual practitioner client relationship.
I see what you mean. It's about creating a larger cultural shift that embraces body positivity
Right.
and challenges the narrow definitions of beauty that we often see in the media.
Precisely. We need to promote a more inclusive and diverse representation of beauty in all its forms. And that includes challenging the notion that there's only one right way to look.
It's about shifting the focus from external validation to internal acceptance.
I love that. It's about recognizing that true beauty comes from within, from a place
Yeah.
of self-love, confidence, and acceptance. And when we embrace that, we radiate a different kind of beauty,
All right.
one that transcends physical appearance and touches on something deeper.
It's like that saying, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But maybe we need to shift it to beauty's in the heart of the beheld.
It's a beautiful way to put it. And I think that's the message we need to amplify, both within the field of aesthetics and in society as a whole.
So as cryolipolysis continues to evolve and become more accessible, let's be mindful of its potential impact
Yeah.
and use it as a catalyst for positive change.
Let's use it to empower individuals, promote body positivity, and challenge unrealistic beauty standards.
Let's embrace the diversity of human beauty and create a culture where everyone feels seen, valued, and worthy, regardless of their shape or size.
And with that thought-provoking message, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the world of cryolipolysis. We encourage you to continue exploring, questioning, and shaping the future of beauty on your own terms.
Remember, knowledge is power. And in this case, it's the power to embrace your unique beauty and make informed choices that support your overall well-being. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.